What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Animation Revaluation podcast. As always, it's a me, Lizer, and with me
And it's me, Celeste.
and Jay.
Yeah.
No, I'm back, baby.
I didn't
Yeah.
get it this time.
Oh. What's up, guys?
How was your week?
Could be better.
I really wasn't expecting that, and I was like,
Honestly, could be better.
ooh, boy. I watched
You
an
guys
anime.
You might hear a little peeved Celeste today because her food went more than half of her food was missing from delivery, and she's pissed at it.
Dude, do VTubers
Someone went
eat?
home and I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
What was funny? I was fixing my model, and one of the people in my chats were like, so I turned her off, and somebody was like, "Wait a minute, you're not a real anime girl." I feel deceived.
How could you do this to me?
I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I just broke the illusion."
Oh no.
Your reality was shattered.
You've ruined it for everyone.
Yeah. My disappointment's immeasurable and my day is ruined.
But as for the week was kind of uneventful for me. One of my friends had some good news though, and it made me happy. So that's
What
cool.
was the good news if you want to share?
Yeah, my friend became an affiliate on Twitch.
Yeah.
That was me. I became
Yeah.
an affiliate.
That's so crazy.
Yes.
You get like a lot of viewers and stuff. Now host the stream.
Okay, so hold on. I did tell my friends I was gonna host the stream. Hold on. Dude, hold on.
Just get people like, I don't see any VTuber models, I'm leaving.
I know.
What the fuck is anime? It's like, yeah, follow an anime girl.
Once again, someone else has fallen down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But congrats.
Thank you. It was honestly shocking because apparently I had received it earlier that day when I got it. Oh, hold on, I heard myself double for a bit hosting. But anyways, so I was literally switching games onto a computer game, and because since I only have one screen on my desktop, I'm like, okay, let me just see chat on my phone. And when I popped up chat and I saw that notification, it literally I was just crying. It's amazing. To think that I am able to get that enough views and enough followers for me to make a somewhat little income. That's
So
just
good.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, maybe I'll actually start watching it.
I know. you legit just pop your head in hi, bye. But my streams
That's what you
literally
think.
the at the beginning my streams have been pretty shitty, a lot of technical difficulties, but I'm actually getting to a point where I'm getting steady, a steady stream.
Yeah.
So
And I'm only messing with her. I go in and I won't go in chat, but I'll be there for at least most of the stream, just moderating stuff because I am a mod on her channel.
yeah, I gotta keep the freaking creeps away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But to the point at hand, we all sat down this week and we watched at least 5 episodes of an anime, and that was your anime this week, Celeste. So you have the floor.
Hey, this week we watched Amagi Brilliant Park. And Amagi Brilliant Park is what it's about is there is a character, literally when the anime first starts off, it starts off with your the screen is coming out of a tunnel, and then you find out that the tunnel is the barrel of a musket, and the musket is pointed at our main protagonist, Kanye. I'm a fucking budget. Kanye. One of it's funny, everybody does call him Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Kanye West.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah. And so it's pointed at our main protagonist, Seiya, and the one who's pointing the gun at him is Sento Isuzu. And she's demanding him to go on a date with her. And she's like, if you don't date me, I'm gonna freaking shoot you, basically. Like she's threatening him. And so then he's like, "Oh, you're just bluffing." And then she actually shoots like wall next to his head, basically like, "Bitch, I ain't playing around. Like I'm gonna fucking murder you. Like go on a date with me." And so he agrees to go on the date, and they meet up the next day, and they take the bus, and they go to amusement park. But as they're going to the amusement park, Isuzu is actually like explaining like a whole bunch of things that like information, and says like, "Oh, like you know a lot of stuff about this," and she kind of doesn't she doesn't entertain him about that. Like she just keeps going on, and finally when they get to the amusement park, they go to like attractions, and at each attraction she's like explaining everything. So she's seeming like she's like this big fangirl of this amusement park. And so as they're going around the amusement park, so she's like giving them facts about each attractions and blah blah blah. And it turns out the amusement park is pretty run down and it's shit. There's hardly any guests, and everything's broken down. There's a lot of issues. One ride, they almost get like yeeted off. They almost get yeeted off, and everything doesn't look good. And so like the whole time he's just like shit talking about the amusement park. And then they sit down, like he wants to leave, and she's like, "Wait, before you leave, you have to try these croquettes." And so then they're sitting down eating the croquettes, and he's like, "Oh," like he like starts shoving them in his mouth, and he's like, "Oh, like this is like the one redeeming shit like quality that this amusement park has." And that's when she's like, "Yeah, like I work here and blah blah blah, and the reason why I asked you out on this date is because I feel like you're more than qualified to help us out." And then he's like, "No, like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not that person." And then so like she brings out like this notebook, and she's like, "Oh my god, I didn't get to like the best part where he gets in a fist fight with fucking Wufu." Oh, we'll
This guy.
so
Awful.
yeah, so they go to his attraction, and his attraction is like mice. Like you get little like laser guns. What funny thing, they call them water gun,
Yeah.
but fucking lasers are shooting out of them.
Don't question it.
And so,
It's best if we don't ask questions.
They
Here.
had a fucking roller coaster that had like a track coming out. Like, I'm not worried about the
Yeah.
water gun right now.
they almost got yeeted.
Actual safety hazards.
And so he has his that's Fumufu, and or Mofu. Or I call him Fumofu for some reason. 'Cause, like there's another anime that has this mascot and they call him Fumofu, but this one they call him Mofu.
Full Metal Panic.
But yeah, Full Metal Panic. And so they go to his attraction, and he like Seiya's like shit talking because it's Seiya. Seiya's like very narcissistic. Like he's very narcissist.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's very full of himself. Like he puts himself on a pedestal and everybody's below him. Like that's our main character. And so like he ends up getting in a fist fight with him, and Isuzu ends up shooting both of them, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna bleed, like I'm gonna die like by this crazy bitch," basically. And so then he finds out like he's not bleeding, he's not injured, and then she's like, "Oh no, like these are special bullets, like its name is like Pain Bringer and shit." And so they go, and so after she shoots him, like they stop, and I go back to where I was. She's like, so she tells them like, "Oh, like I know about," like she basically gets this notebook on Seiya, and she's like explaining like his whole like backstory. He's like, "Oh, you're Seiya, you're perfect, like with grades, you're good at sports, you're very like basically your head's up your ass that you don't have friends.
Used to be a TV star.
Oh no, then that's when she's like, yeah, and then you used to be a TV star, and he's like, what? No, like that person's dead, and you know, he started kind of like not too much details, but like, oh, like that's not me no more. Like I'm not a fucking kid star no more. Like I quit. And then she's like, well, just come meet our general manager. Like, and so she convinces him to go meet her general manager, and also the person who made the croquettes. And her name is Latifa. Latifa. Latifa, yeah,
Latifa.
Latifa. And she's so cute. And she's so cute. She's honestly so adorable. And so we find out she's actually the general manager. And we find out that actually Isuzu had taken up the position, and that Isuzu needed help. And so they start asking him like, "Oh, please, you know, help us out." And Basea's like, "No, like I'm not gonna help you, like, because that's just the type of person who Seiya is." And so he's about to leave, but then okay, I might be getting the episodes mixed up, but for some reason my memory's like he meets like brokers or like some shit. Like who the fuck he meets people. But I'm not sure if that's in episode 2, if that's still in episode 1.
Honestly, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah. But okay,
no,
so
yeah, it's episode 1.
yeah, so then what happens is Isuzu's like, hey, just come join this meeting with us. Like, and he's like, okay. So he ends up going to a meeting with Isuzu, and he meets like a whole bunch of people from the bank, and they're like going down like the like everything. And then the guy is like, he's like doing numbers, and he's like, oh, how many people like guessed or whatever. And like Stale like just says it like at the top of his head, and like he was super close, and the guys are like, oh, like you're really smart, like why don't you come work for us? Stale's like, nah, I'm good, I'm Gucci, like, I don't want to do that shit. And so then they're like, okay, whatever, you know. So they are told that they have to get a certain amount of people by a certain date, and if they don't get that certain amount of people, the theme park's gonna be closed. And so after the meeting, Isuzu's like begging Seiya for help, and Seiya's like, nah, like I ain't gonna help you. And so then they go their separate ways, and Seiya goes to the bus stop, and while he's waiting at the bus stop, oh my god, what was that guy's name? I'm trying to remember. Oh my god.
Chris?
What was that, his name?
Yeah. Like Kurisu.
Kuresu. And so do you have a picture of him?
I have a meme picture that I'm saving.
Oh my god. So Kuresu. And so he sees Seiya, and he's like, oh, I know you're not gonna help him, like you don't want to help a bunch of idiots, you know, like this park's gonna be closed, and you know, like I don't know why they're still even trying, and blah blah blah. And so like he's basically like shit talking them to Seiya, and Seiya doesn't like it. And so Seiya goes back, and as he's going back, everybody is having a meeting. And so as they're having the meeting, Seiya like listens to them, and they're like, oh no, they're gonna close the park, and blah blah blah, and like, and Fumofu and Totodile fucking fight. Totodile's fucking crying tears that he was gonna disappear. And because we also find out that everybody from that amusement park's from a different dimension. They're from like a different world.
Mm.
And they basically got iseki'd into like the real world.
They got hit by Truck Kun.
They all got hit by Truck Kun.
I think the only person that was different, I think it's a normal person, was the guy with the mask.
Yeah, the guy with the luchador mask. He's normal.
The guy who
'Cause,
gives
like,
out tickets, yeah.
Yeah, because like, because it was like, is he from your world? And she's like, no, he's just a regular guy that from here.
Yeah,
Like,
he
oh,
just walks around
okay.
in a fucking luchador mask all the time. Like, oh, okay. But
And,
like the people from the other world, it's hard to tell because some of them look like crazy beings and some of them look like humans. Like
Yes.
like Sento looks like a normal girl. Latifa looks like a normal, like, lowly. But then we get, like, Lawful, and he's a mouse. And what was the other two?
Oh,
Um,
Timori, Tim,
Tirami and Macaron.
yeah.
Here's Macaron. He's like a sheep. Look at that face. That's a face only a mother could love. And then Tirami, I got a picture of them together. And they're just like the OD like OG sons, like pervy old men, but they look like these cute characters. You're like, what is happening?
Love
Like,
him so
they
much,
go to the
bro.
bar and they're like, the waitress comes and is like, do you need anything? He's like, oh, all I need is to see more of that ass. And I'm like, I thought this character was a girl.
yeah, I also
I was like, no, it's just an old dude.
Oh, you find out one of them has like a kid too.
I said, the fuck? What's happening?
No, oh my god, like, oh, okay, I'll get back to that later because like one of them like, okay, never mind, hold on. So anyways, so they and so like Seiya ends up like, oh yeah, I'll help you guys, but he's like doing it in a dick move, like he's being like an asshole, like he's purposely doing it to get them pissed off, for them to like prove him wrong, like to make him. So he's trying to make himself look like an asshole to like motivate them, like, oh, like I'm gonna show this fucker, you know.
Yeah.
And so, dude, why is like everything else is like a blur to me now? Like, because I mean, it's just like a whole bunch of shenanigans. Like, you know, like it's just like from there on, it's just trying to like do like repairs on certain things, and it's just Seiya bossing them around. Basically, like that's the whole plot line of the anime. The anime has like, it's like one of those animes where it's just like it has a plot, but each episode's like totally random.
Yeah, each episode is contained with its own like mini story, which isn't
And I'm
bad.
like,
It was fun.
it's yeah, it's not bad. I personally I liked it.
Like there's the overarching issue of we need to get, you know, X amount of guests before this day comes so we can keep the park. Um, and then we have like the issue with the whole like magic is going away and people are gonna forget about us and we'll disappear, like that thing.
yeah, no, snap.
Yeah.
They're gonna get
So-
Thanos snapped.
Yeah, so like basically the whole point of the, yeah, like you were saying, the whole point of the anime is for them to find certain people, because like they do is I think it's called anima, like something like that. Like they have that magic power. Oh, and so then first episode too, like they're telling Seiya that, you know, they come from a magical world, and he's like, oh, I don't fucking believe you guys. And Latifa, like Latifa, like I know I'm pronouncing her name wrong.
Queen
She's like,
Latifah.
I'm gonna give you like I'm gonna give you magic power. So she ends up kissing him, and then Seiya ends up like passing out, and so like Isuzu ends up taking him back to his apartment. He wakes up and he's like what the fuck just happened? And so he wakes up and he's like goes to the bathroom. Once he goes in the bathroom, he sees Isuzu taking a bath,
Best scene.
and then
Best scene in the anime.
and then he like slams the door, and then he runs. We find out that he's living with the sister, so he runs to his sister's room and he's banging on the door, and he's like Nechan, Nechan, and then she finally opens the door and he's like, why'd you let that psychopath in our house, basically? And she's like, oh, how can you be mean, like after she carried you and blah blah blah. And then she like stops talking, but then she starts thinking and she starts saying things, and then Seiya's like, why are you saying that, you know? And she's like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't say anything. He's like, no, I heard you say something. And then he's like, and she's like, oh no, I'm probably sleeping. And that's when like Isuzu rushes out, and she's like, no, like that's your magical powers, you can read people's minds. So Seiya is given the ability to read people's minds, which is cool.
But don't worry, it's not OP.
It's not OP because he could only read them once.
Like, she straight up
can't-
was like, hey, read my mind to prove that it's really something that's happening and it wasn't a fluke. And he reads her mind. She's like, okay, well, you can only do it once, so you'll never be able to read my mind again. It's like, alright, you got me.
I'm like trying to remember the episodes. Like, why is it fucking blurred to me?
That's because like not much actually happens in the first five. Like it's all little stuff.
It's yeah, it's basically the whole point of the during the first five. Well, actually, it's the first four episodes. The fifth episode where things start.
Yeah.
It starts getting better. Like more action, because basically the first four episodes is just explaining what's happening with the theme park, and it's
Yeah.
them like
Kind of like him
building like
building trust with the other, like mascot-esque characters.
yes,
Can I just say that like the actual park itself is fucking beautiful.
it is.
Like after they
They
fix
just
it
gotta
up.
yeah, like they just had to fix it up, but like
Like here's the castle. That looks like something out of like a fucking movie.
oh, and it's funny because like as they're going to the theme park, it's like oh like Amagi Brilliant Park next stop, and then like Seiya's gonna pull the cord to stop the bus, but Isuzu stops them. She's like oh no, it's not the stop. We ended up selling it. It's a love hotel now.
He's like, oh, that's probably why they get a lot of business.
It's like how come it hasn't been changed? Like oh, it just keeps getting pushed back. It's like all right. Just have a couple of the mascots just like stay there with like the light up sticks from airports. Just
know,
like
just
no,
knock them
next
over.
up, no. Save your virginity, kids.
Run away!
Like fucking Mickey Mouse is like, don't have sex.
Oh my god!
If you do, buy this Disney brand condom.
Okay.
Can't wait to get a lawsuit.
But there is a lot of characters in this anime too
Oh yeah.
that you get to like even you meet in like the first 5 episodes. Like you meet the elemental fairies, Salama, Mew. Oh my gosh.
Dude, fuck that.
Salama,
Earth,
Muse.
wind, water, fire.
Yeah, yeah. We got Earth, Wind, Fire, Water fairies.
The wind
And then,
one is
like, one of
fucking
them-
stupid.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, she's
I think it's. I think it's Sophie. That's.
yeah,
Yeah,
Sylphie.
Sophie.
Yes, Sylphie.
Yep.
I didn't even include them in like my main cast. I was like, they're just kind of there.
Yeah, they're just. They're just like.
There's a dragon.
There is a dragon.
Yes, there is a
And
dragon.
I think he kind of won my spot for.
Rubrum.
Yeah, Rubrum the dragon.
Dragon.
So this guy looks like a badass, right? And then,
Uh,
and then, then they're like, "Hey, here he is." Oh, okay, this big intimidating dragon. Boom, there he goes.
I
look
stand.
how they massacred my boy.
Look what they did to my boy. What about the like? I don't even know what kind of animal he's supposed to be. A ferret?
I'd assume he was a ferret.
He's like an otaku ferret, Dornell.
He reminds me of a weasel
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
They're
An
like,
otter, maybe? No, not an otter. No.
Dornell went missing years ago where he died in this cave, and then they go and this dude has like internet hooked up and like slaves basically. I was like, what is happening? And he's like, oh, nobody came to save me. But I was like, people went and installed internet. I was like, no one's gonna talk about this.
Well, the funny part is that he was like living in like the back part of an abandoned attraction.
Yeah, that they didn't even know about.
They didn't even know about, so it was like really weird because like I would assume somebody would see like people to come install like internet, fix the lights and whatever, but no,
And
we were
then,
making deliveries.
and then they're like, oh, we disappear. People forget about us. How have you been staying relevant? He's like, oh, I play MMOs online and I play as a girl, so everyone's thirsty for me. Like, really? Really?
Yeah.
It's like, you guys went there? It's like, Jesus Christ, guys.
Like it sucks because like gonna say this now. Like literally the first 4 episodes is really slow. Like it's not slow, but I like it. Honestly, it's when the 5th episode. That's when the rest of the episodes start. Like they start getting like adventures and like crazy shit happen.
I'd say it's slow compared to the rest of the series, but it's not slow in of itself. Because
Yeah.
the first 5 episodes are very entertaining. Like nothing really happens in the first four, but you still get like really funny moments and like character building and stuff. And like things happen that you wouldn't exactly expect them to happen. Like Kanye's doing all this stuff, and he's being he's acting as the general manager, and everything's working out. And there comes this one point where they're like, "Oh, we need to do this thing with the pumps." Like, all right, well, put this one out of commission. Use parts for the other two. It's fine. We'll deal with it later if it's a problem. And then like there's basically like a typhoon happens, and the other two stop working because they're overloaded because the third one is off. And he like, oh, this was my fault. I have to go help, and they have to like organize all this stuff to happen. And I think that was actually the next episode that happened. Like he tells them to shut it down in one episode, and then the next episode the issue happens.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first like cross episode thing we've had happen. So everything's usually just localized to its own episode. But we talked about oh well, we didn't talk about Latifa. We introduced her, but we didn't say exactly what her deal was.
Yeah, I just said she was the general manager, but in their world, she's actually the first princess.
Mm-hmm. And she's kind of frail. They don't really explain why in the first 5 episodes. It is pretty interesting. But she has to stay within like a certain area of the castle because it's like shielded by magic. For her to stay well, and she can leave and go other places, but they recommend for her to not do that for long. But like just her story alone is pretty interesting. Let's see.
Then we also have Isuzu, where she's actually a royal guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like she comes from a family of royal guards.
And that kind of makes sense given like
She's
the
very
uniform
stoic, and
yeah,
and she like how she handles the gun.
yeah, and straight up like a musket,
Yeah.
like it's a modern musket basically.
I don't know where she gets it from, but
From her skirt. Like she just pulled it down.
Especially she's best girl. You don't have to question anything.
she's living in like fucking GTA world at this point. I'm just pulling weapons out of nowhere.
I ain't even mad.
I'm not mad about it. Her musket looks really cool, so I'm not even.
And like I said, she had the best scene in the anime. But but he takes over as acting general manager. He does a bunch of stuff to he kind of like he's like, fuck democracy, this is gonna be a dictatorship, you're gonna do what I say or you'll get fired. And he starts off as this hard ass, but as the series goes on he softens up and everyone starts getting along more. The development
Yeah,
on the
he-
show is really good.
Also, you find out that Fumofu is actually Latifa's uncle.
Which is
He's like
fucking
very
weird.
overprotective. Yeah. He's very overprotective of her, and so every time I like say on her like do something, he's always like spying.
So they said that it's his sister that is her mother. So her mom was
Yeah.
a rat.
Oh my god. I don't. Okay, so I don't think.
Cricket.
No, but Tifa looks exactly like her mom.
That's what's confusing
Like,
me.
Split image of her mom. So I'm thinking that maybe once they got teleported to this world, they like transformed into like mascots.
That's some bullshit.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh shit, it's a rat.
And then I do like the mascot trio.
Oh yeah.
Well, mainly Timori and I call him Ron.
I really thought that the cat one was a girl. Like
I know, when I-
swear. Just like a dude's voice. He's like, I want to see more of that ass. I was like, huh? Excuse me, sir, ma'am, madam.
And it's funny because of they have such a this a friendship where they would fucking backstab each other, like
Oh,
no
definitely,
questions asked.
definitely.
No questions asked. They'll like fucking betray one another.
I mean, they do. They do it in the show,
Yeah, they do it like multiple occasions.
like a couple times an episode sometimes. Uh, I wanted to, I wanted to share this. So we talked about Kanye's name.
Oh my god.
Kanye Saya. Saya means West. Kanye West. Suzu Sento. Sento means 50 bells. So 50 Cento is 50 Cent.
Oh my god.
Princess Latifah Lorenza. Princess Latifah equals Queen Latifah. Isu Cubu. Try saying that out loud. Ice Cube. And Takaya Kurisu, reverse it and say it out loud. Kurisu Takaya, Chris Tucker. I saw that, I was like, God damn it. God damn it.
What a
Fucking 50
cast.
Cent.
What a cat.
Dude, it's for the fucking Netflix adaptation.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to see 50 Cent pull a gun out of his skirt.
Nice stat.
Probably be captain.
And we were talking about like Kanye, right?
Yeah.
The actual character, not Kanye West. How he's
I
so
know, that's
self-censored and everything.
Mhm.
He's described his character so very well. To Kanye, love Kanye, and it's a picture of himself. And of course, I hate how chocolate immediately melts on my fingers. I mean, am I that hot?
Oh my god. I fucking love like his fucking conceited now. And it's funny because when he's waiting on the date with Isuzu, he's like waiting by a glass and he's like checking himself out and
Yeah.
he's like, oh damn, like I'm really fucking hot, and there's like people walking by and the kid's like, oh look at that guy, he's so full of
I love
himself.
that kid. I love that the kid keeps popping up.
Bro. That kid's an MVP.
He's like, Mom, she's wearing blue and white striped panties. Like,
Like,
oh.
just pretend you didn't see anything. Just pretend you didn't see anything.
Yeah. It's like her equipment is standard. It's like, huh? This one I just made because I was bored.
Mom says the pizza rolls are done. Oh man.
Absolute animals.
So what did you guys think of it?
Hmm?
Huh?
Huh?
What are we talking about?
What do you think of it? What do you think of the anime?
Oh, I absolutely enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to, but then when I saw the characters and I remember seeing memes about this show, I was like, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'll find something stupid to laugh at.
And then there was one stupid thing to laugh at every episode.
Yep. I was like, I'm sold.
No, I had already seen it because we've been friends for a while, so you've recommended this to me in the past. So
Yes.
as watching the first 5 episodes, like just judging based on that, I can see like some people being like, "Oh, this isn't really for me. Like it's okay, blah blah blah." Judging from the whole series, it's actually really good, and I would recommend sticking to it. Like we all know how it's
Yeah.
gonna end. We know it's gonna have a good ending. Like, oh no, spoiler alert! It's a happy ending. Like no shit, Sherlock. It's fun to get there though.
I actually had to stop myself from like going past episode 5. I was like, I want to leave it to like actually go back and watch it on my very long list of things to finish.
Uh
And it's on that list, but it's very high up on that list.
Hey. Like no, I agree with you, Lizer. Like when I watched this before, I've actually watched this anime multiple times. Like like throughout years. This is another one of my favorite anime, and it's been such a while since I've watched this, and so rewatching it, like I said, the first few episodes, like even I thought I was like, oh, this is kind of like not what I remembered. Like I'm like I remember it being better. Like, but then once it picked up more, I was like, oh shit, yeah, no, the fucking reason why I love this anime.
Yeah. I give it a solid like a 7. I give it a 7 out of 10.
First 5, 7.5. I'm with it though.
I give it an 8. First 5 episodes, 8.
Mm. What if you were
Those
judging
were
from
good.
from the whole thing?
The whole thing, that's a solid. Well, not a solid, but 9 for sure.
Mm.
And actually, change my mind, 10.
Like I didn't watch
I love it.
all the episodes this time just because I've already seen them. So like, there's not really a need to. I know what happens. Like it slowly came to me like I was watching it because it's been a while. I was like, I don't remember this. Oh, okay. So I was like, okay, I'm good now.
You didn't rewatch the interview episode where they're
No, no,
interviewing the
no,
people.
no, 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 no.
Oh, that episode. I ended up like almost finishing it again.
Uh,
I enjoyed it.
I
At
could
first
see
I was like, oh,
myself like knocking it out this weekend.
I'm gonna finish it
it's
again.
it's really chill. It's fun. It's like if you don't have anything to do, you can definitely just kick back and just enjoy this, and it's just you'll crack up just because of stupid shit happening. And then you get to the ending where it's like kind of clinching. You're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, so
Anything else to say about it though?
Seiya's best boy.
Hmm. Sento's best girl.
Yeah, Sento is best girl. I agree with that.
She had the best scene in the anime.
She had multiple little scenes too.
Yeah. Believe me, I know.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah, we need that bonk button we were talking about from last week.
I'm telling you, there needs to. It'll get made eventually.
It needs to come like pre-installed and like sound mixers and stuff.
And a soundboard, yeah.
You can't like. I mean, there's this website where you can get sounds.
You
I
know,
I'll
you know how
I'll link
people
it
have
to
the
you
nut
later.
button?
Yeah.
Oh my
Just
God.
with the bonk sound. Just...
Oh my god.
But this week we saw like pretty chill, funny anime. What would you guys be in the mood for to watch next week? Because it's my turn.
I don't fucking know. I don't.
I was very concerned when you asked me that, and then you also asked me a follow. You gave me like a very like specific follow-up question where it was like, would you want to watch something that made you feel like really warm? And I was like, you know what, fuck yeah, I can go for something like that.
I forgot I
I'm
said
very
that to you.
concerned.
I forgot.
Yeah, my memory ain't shit. My memory is not terrible.
I forgot all about that. Like it seems really ominous.
Very ominous, and especially when it comes from you. So
Oh my god, there's just so much in our messages about just like VTubers. I can't even fucking find it.
Oh my god.
God damn it. You making fun of me for not streaming anything? Fuck off, Jay.
telling you, you should stream a little more often.
You
This
should
didn't happen.
stream more often.
Fucking
I
make
won't
me.
have to fuck with you.
Fucking make me. Anyway, I'm not even gonna look for it. I have something that will give you a really warm, fuzzy feeling in your stomach and make you feel happy, like when you're having a bad day.
Yeah, I've always liked something like that.
It's a little something called sweetness and lightning.
I've actually never. So okay, I see. I feel like I've seen that little girl somewhere.
You've probably seen an animation of her walking down the street singing about sharks.
No, I feel like I have seen her for sure. Somewhere.
Now,
Okay.
I have a request for this.
All right.
Usually we do episode 5, right?
Yeah.
Please, if you can, watch until episode 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you guys to watch episode 7.
I swear, some fucking shit happens around episode 7. I'm gonna be fucking dead.
No.
Okay.
But episode 7 is like such a big moment for the season. And I'm like, please, just watch that. Like, even if you watch 1 through 5 and they're like, I'm gonna skip 6, and then you watch 7. I don't care.
Okay, as
Just
long as
make sure
as long
7
as we
gets
watch
watched.
episode 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I have a feeling that I'm gonna have both of you be like, yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Probably.
Or at the very least be like, I really, really wanted to, I didn't get to, but I watched to like episode 10.
Probably. That'll probably happen. We'll see.
I know there's probably gonna be at least one scene that you guys are gonna come across and be like, oh, that's this anime. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see the reactions. I love that show.
Where can we watch this?
Your, your local torrenting.
Oh my
I'm
God,
pretty
you
sure it's
fuck.
on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
There's no dub, so I doubt it's on Funimation.
Maybe Hulu. I'll check it out.
Yeah, probably Hulu.
But you hear that, audience? Most likely, probably, maybe Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I'm like 99.99% sure it's on Crunchyroll. Do I have Crunchyroll installed on my phone?
That's the biggest question.
I'm not logged in. It's on Crunchyroll. It's on Crunchyroll. Sweetness and Lightning. It's a little girl living with her single father, and they have cute situations happen as he tries to learn how to cook for her. Watch
Aw.
it. It's really fucking cute. Watch it. And we'll see you next week for it.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
bye guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you
next
for
Bye, guys.
thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you loved it. If you
Bye.
hated it, fuck you and never come
Bye.
back.
Oh my God.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.